Now, so how do you describe the season?
It started off a little tough. We didn't know what we had. We knew we had some new people in new positions. And, of course, Chris knew more than I, and Rob knew more than I as well. But nice to see it all come together. We didn't know how, positioning was going to play a factor, what our record. We had a tough schedule this year, and that was on purpose because of when we get to the end of the year, people look at your schedule and say you really didn't play anybody. Well, this year's schedule was absolutely tough. Those girls went out there, and after they realized that those girls on the other team were just like them, just high school students playing softball.
Right.
And they came to practice and listened and learned and got better. And by the end of the year, that team was as solid as you could put out there. We even had a couple girls on the bench that we knew at any point, if they were ready to go in the game, we weren't losing anything by putting them up there to bat or putting them in the field. So with the 8 seniors that we're going to lose this year, we'll strong JV season as well, and 5 or 6 girls from this year who will continue on next year.
Oh, that's good.
So we should be strong. We'll have another year of a tough schedule, and hopefully to get into a league. And it's tough getting into a league being on Nantucket. We're finding out lately with the economy the way it is.
Of course.
People don't want to spend the extra money to come to Nantucket.
Now, didn't we play? We just lost Cohasset. We lost this game.
Cohasset 1-0. We played them
for the final.
Right. We played them twice earlier this year.
Right.
The first game of the year, we went up there. It was a damp day. Like I say, we didn't know who was going to play what position, and we went in there, and their pitcher is probably one of the best pitchers in Division III, and she carried that team all season. She pitched 90% of their games. She pitched that first game against us, and of course, being our first game, we weren't fazed by a pitcher. We have some of the best pitching on our team that we play against every day in practice.
Right.
So having that ability to hit against the best pitchers that we're going to face, actually as good as any other pitchers we're going to face, pitching to them in practice, it took a lot of fear out of it. Just the motion, the wind-up, the different deliveries, all that stuff you have to get used to each game.
Did we win that first game with them?
We lost 6-4.
Okay. Then they came to Nantucket.
They came to Nantucket. It was our senior day.
Yeah.
We played the seniors plus one junior who was Lindsay Fry, our shortstop, and we had that game in hand.
Yeah.
And they pulled a fast one as well. They didn't bring their pitcher to Nantucket that day. She had some other obligation back home. I think the coach had a feeling in his mind that looking at
he could still win
Division III. No, just looking at Division III South, he was going to face Nantucket in the playoffs at some point.
I see.
And giving us another chance to see a pitcher, it was going to be tough. But we had Jess Guevara pitch, and she didn't pitch the first game. She pitched the second game for us, being a senior, and shut them down completely. And I think that sat in the back of his head a lot. And was worried about this game, and as he should have, because Jess pitched a perfect game, no-hitter, into the 5th inning. And in the finals of the playoffs, to have a senior come in and do that, and it was just, she was unfazed. 3-hitter, she pitched the whole game, 3-hitter.
3-hitter.
And our team played solid defense.
Wow.
Unfortunately, our hits, our good hits, ended up being caught by the Cohasset outfielders. One, if you watch the game, you'll see the right fielder had no right catching one of the balls. It should have been bouncing off the fence, but she made an acrobatic catch.
Oh my gosh!
Put us down. You know? So we were that close.
All right. So next season, it looks like a good season for us in girls softball.
Girls softball.
You'll be there again?
I hope so. If Chris asks me back.
Okay. Well, congratulations,
Bill.
Bill.
Thank you. It was a great experience, and having a couple daughters on the team made it fun.
That's true.
Yeah.
My gosh.
But I became, I knew these girls by insight and by being with my daughters, but when they came together as a team, that was the true meaning of a team. They were a solid group of girls who really got along during the practices, games, bus rides, and they became a solid team of friends, and you could see it even last night when we finally got to the boat after having a real quiet, somber bus ride down to the Cape. We stopped and got something to eat and cheered them. They cheered themselves up. They had fun, and it finished off nicely. Couldn't ask for better.